Today I'm bringing you one of my favorite dishes of all time. Puerto Rican dishes, that is. Pasteles de Yuca. I'm gonna make this. This recipe will be in two parts. First, I'm gonna show you how to make the pork, and then we'll do the pasteles. Let's make them, shall we? Welcome to my workshop. So the story goes that this is one of our traditions, comes back from the Taínos. Just like in Venezuela there's hallacas, and in Mexico there's tamales, but those are made with flours. The tradition of the Taínos was to make it with plátano or green plantain, green bananas, and yautía, and they will stuff them with pork or any other meat that they can find. Nowadays, there's all kinds of pasteles. We make them all over Puerto Rico with different ingredients and different recipes and different amounts, and that is okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my version. Okay, so I'm gonna start with some pork. This is what they call a country style rib with no bones. This comes from the shoulder of the pork, the shoulder and the top loin underneath the ribs. Anyway, you can use your favorite cut of pork. All I recommend is that you use a fatty type of pork to give the flavor. If you use a lean pork like the pork loin, it's great because it's healthier, but it doesn't have as much flavor as this part of the pork. So I start by cutting it into about an inch thick, and then I'm gonna add it. In my case, I'm gonna make it again in Instapot. This time I'm gonna use my Ninja Foodie because it's bigger. I'm gonna add all the pork in there, starting with the first part. And this is probably the key to a good tasting pork for your pastel. Make sure you can brown all your pork. If you don't brown the pork, again, if you see my videos, you will see that what you do, you add the pork in there and add water and all the whatever you want to put in there and just kind of boil it. That's fantastic, but you're leaving all the flavor of the pork in the water or in the broth that you form. By browning it, again, you're gonna take some of that water out, so you're gonna intensify the flavor of the meat. I have said it in almost every video. It's one of the things that I have learned throughout my career as a professional chef. So that's why I saute and brown my pork, so I can have a lot more flavor on the stuffing of the pastel. So after I brown all the pork, I add the onions and the peppers and the sofrito to the Ninja Foodie in this case, or you can use your caldero, it's fine, or any pot for that matter. After that has been sauteing for a bit, I'm gonna add my tomato sauce and my seasonings. Then I'm gonna add the pork, and I'm gonna use 4 cups of chicken stock in this case. Again, for flavor. I'm gonna cover it and I'm gonna cook it for 40 minutes in my pressure cooker. After 40 minutes, it should look like this. It's super flavorful. It's got beautiful color. The aroma is intense. There's plenty of liquid, and look at how tender that is. It's amazing. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side and start working on our pasteles. Like we have said before, and like I said when I was doing the alcapurrias de yuca, in this case today I'm using packaged grated yuca. This comes in a pound. You can find them probably for the most part, in your Asian markets. Filipinos use it a lot. Thai people use it a lot. So you can probably find it in your frozen aisle and your Asian market, or sometimes in Mexican markets. I'm gonna open the package and put it in a strainer to make sure I strain all the liquid. Sometimes it doesn't come with a whole lot of liquid, but this starch or the liquid that comes in the package is gonna make your pastel gummy. If you don't strain this or even wash it a little bit of water and then make sure you dry it, it's gonna become gummy. For the capurrias is perfect because we want a little bit of gumminess so it can hold together. But for the pasteles, it's not so much. Anyway, then I'm gonna go and grab some of this calabaza. I'm gonna put it in my food processor with the grating attachment and the blade underneath. And I'm gonna grate this calabaza and puree it till I have about a cup or a cup and a half. I'm gonna add it to the yuca. I'm gonna add my seasoning, salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and my own sazon. Later on, I'm gonna show you how to make this sazon. I do a sazon normal, I do an adobo, and I do an adobo with anato, so it has color as well. Very well. Then I'll mix all this. In the recipe, it calls for 1 cup of coconut oil. I use half a cup when I was pureeing the calabaza, and the other half a cup I'm gonna add it now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the anato oil and the liquid from where I cooked the pork. This time it's gonna be 1 cup. Gonna mix everything up. I'm gonna grab a frying pan. I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons to the frying pan. I'm gonna fry it. I'm gonna taste it for salt or seasonings. In my case, this one needed a little bit more salt, so I just added a little bit more salt and get it ready to make the pastel. So to assemble the pastel, you're gonna need some paper, some pastel paper or any other paper that is waterproof, some banana leaves, some kitchen twine, and some anato oil. I start usually by softening the banana leaves, and I usually put them in a gas stove and just kind of run it through to make them pliable so they don't break, and to release the natural oil of the banana leaf, and that imparts a little bit of flavor. But since I don't have it, I have to improvise, and I'm using this griddle, and it works just fine. Just use whatever you think just to make it pliable, because if not, the banana leaves are by nature very brittle and they will break, and you won't be able to fold your pastel. So in a pastel paper, I add my banana leaf, I brush some anato oil, and then I put a good amount of the yuca masa. Then I add my pork that I have kind of cut into smaller pieces or kind of shredded a little bit, just to make sure I don't have huge portions of pork, but you can do it as you like. I like mine with garbanzos or chickpeas. I'm very peculiar because I only add 5 garbanzos per pastel. That's the lucky number for me. Then I use some pimiento morron or roasted red pepper, and I like aceitunas on mine. My kids don't like aceitunas, so I had to make some without aceitunas. And sometimes my father likes them with prunes, so I put some prunes. Not today, but yes, you can add whatever else you like. So once you add everything, it's very simple, it's not complicated. Just fold it over, make sure that everything is tight, and then just roll the paper all the way to the top. Get the corners or the sides shaping real well, put them underneath the pastel. Make sure the other side too is nice and tight by lifting it up, shaking it a little bit, closing the other side, and that's it. Voila, here's your pastel. So we repeat this over and over and over again. So it's tedious to say the least, but it's worth it once they come out. So I'm going to show you how I pack them. I just grab a long twine, put it almost like a U-turn on the top, put the 2 pasteles with the seams facing each other, then grab the 2 loose ends, put them through the loop, tighten it, go around the back, do another loop there, and bring back to the front, and just tie it like a shoe. There it is, pastel. It's a tedious job. It's good to have the whole family helping out, because once you have like a little factory, somebody can do the banana leaf, somebody can just put the yuca in there, somebody can put the stuffing in from. It goes on and on, but it's well worth it. It reminds me of my family tradition, Puerto Rico. It smells like Puerto Rico, it tastes like Puerto Rico, and that's all I need. Then once the pasteles are done, I'm gonna put them in salted water. In this case, since the pastel is not frozen, I'm gonna boil for about 30 to 35 minutes, bring it out, and we've been doing this for a while, and it's late, and my kids want some pasteles. We don't have anything to eat them with, so we're just gonna eat them like this. Here it is, pastel de yuca with the beautiful, tasty pork inside. I hope you guys enjoy this, you liked it. If you never made pasteles, go ahead and try it. You don't have to use grated yuca frozen. You can grate your own yuca. However you do it, try them out. Stuff them with whatever. You can use chicken. I made them with shrimp before. I made them with seafood. So you can do whatever you want. Thank you for watching, and remember that the recipe is under the bio on my YouTube channel, Chef Tito's Workshop. I hope you have great holidays. I hope you have a great Christmas and everything else that comes with it. You receive many good blessings. Stay healthy. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and here on Facebook. Share, like, and share with everybody. God bless. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Ciao.